Hello again. So I wanted to make this video sort of funny. It's about meditation groups, etc., but also cults. It's really related. And I wrote here, for example, an introduction of various cults, and I got angry because I thought it's always the same thing. They always behave the same. They're narcissists. They're trying to get pretending or not really pretending to improve the world and lives of others, but really they're destructive. And why they're not really pretending is because they're usually antisocial. And when they're antisocial, they look always outside. They think they're doing a great job. Same with running companies into the ground with antisocial directors. And then they say, "Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I was doing a great job, but yeah." Apparently, the market or something or circumstances were against us, blah blah blah. But really, they are the reason. It's always the same. And often about meditation, etc. So, and I wrote here on my page that this woman was also she was looking for how to live life, eventually settled on Christianity, but she was not Christian in her thinking. Really antisocial. It's more like the Old Testament. And by the way, on this topic, I would say watch the film, what's it called? Green Pastures, I think from 1936 or around that time. It's about the transition also from the Old Testament to the New Testament. At one point, the God says, "I learned something. Instead of the old way, eye for an eye, he went to turn the other cheek." So God changed. That was the reason why there's an Old Testament and a New Testament. It's very interesting. So often these people are antisocial, destructive. And yeah, in Ukraine, I traveled 4,700 kilometers, met a lot of people in a lot of cities. And I met some meditation, people who are into meditation, things like that. And it can give you sort of a feeling. But I'm a loner. I don't get involved. I'm also not interested in meditation. I think it's not useful. I think understanding life is what should be taught. I think it should be taught at school. Also manipulation, countering manipulation to students, maybe when they're 12 or so. That really should start, maybe even a bit earlier. And yeah, staying grounded in life also is something that should happen. For example, the book, I mentioned this one before, Yogananda's book, Autobiography of a Yogi, is very interesting. He mentions, for example, the Buddhist monks with the begging bowls. So they're not self-sufficient, they're dependent on and using other people. I think that's not okay. You need to be self-sufficient, and only one person, by the way, in that environment was like that. Is one of his teachers who was self-sufficient and had a family. And this is something related to what my friend said, because I met him several months ago, and this group, he knew it, and I knew it also, but both we know it only superficially, but it gives a certain feeling, and it's similar to what a friend of one of mine said about watching the X-Files. He said that it gave him a certain feeling that he didn't like, and it's similar to this. It's like a certain group feeling. And I said, "Yeah, I don't know what you mean." And I got it later, maybe after watching series 3 or so. And I kept it in mind. It's very interesting that he had that feeling very quickly, and that later it became clear that, yeah, the series was going in that direction. But with groups, I also have this. I do have this immediately, that I know, yeah, this is not for me. I'm a loner. And I made a joke about that to someone else recently, and I said, "Yeah, Frank Sinatra, I did it my way. He had a vision of the future and saw me." That's what the song is about, because it really applies to me. I made mistakes, but I did it my way. And I'm not into going into groups. I do things myself. I don't like to follow leaders. That's also why I cannot get involved in these groups, because I don't like the whole structure of some leader telling you what life is like or should be, or why you should meditate. To me, it doesn't make any sense what they're saying. You need to stay grounded in life. So my friend said, I don't trust people who always smile. I have the same, especially the half smile, which antisocial manipulators use. For me, it doesn't. Or with me, it doesn't work, because when they don't use that, then I see their antisocial face. And why is the face antisocial? Well, it's almost expressionless. And why is that? Because they only look outwards for everything. That influences how they behave and how they interact with other people. But even normal people who always smile, yeah, then there's something not normal even. Walking around naked and screaming at the sun doesn't require intelligence. I don't know if this group really does that, but some groups do. Like in Rajneesh Bhagwan Osho, there was some, how do you call it? Meditation or training, where they do things like that in other groups as well. Screaming out everything that you don't like, something like that. I don't know. And he said, when people gather and they're not philosophers or chess players, I wonder what's going on. Well, it could be a discussion group, and I'm not sure if that still goes on, that kind of thing. But I've heard about 70s, 60s, that there were discussion groups about a lot of topics and about society, discussion about society. And also I've heard a story, interesting, from the Netherlands about someone from the government who infiltrated such a group. And I thought, why such a group? Why not someone? It doesn't really matter. And that group, by the way, suspected someone, and it turned out later they were correct. That's very interesting, but it may be a topic for another video. I said it feels like sect, should be more like a cult, although some sect is a split off from a religion. Cult is where you are split off from other people to influence you and you're manipulated. But some religions have something about this, such as the Amish and Jehovah's Witnesses. They want you to stay within, and if you leave, then all ties are cut, and some are more strict than others, and it's a way to that they don't get influenced, but also to try to keep you within the group. And there are reasons for it, but I don't agree with doing it. I understand why they think such reasons are good, but I don't agree with them. In any case, what was it? Yeah, I did it my way. That's it for now. Bye.